Greetings, traveler.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another draft video. In this video we'll be taking a look at a warrior draft, one of the less popular classes in the arena, mainly because its hero power doesn't really do that much for the the middle / early of the game, right? There's no board control options. The hero power only really starts mattering in the late game, and only if you're playing a pretty specific deck. These two factors combined make me want to draft a warrior that ends the game fairly fast, right? This is a warrior that you can refer to as an aggro warrior or more of a tempo warrior, right? To keep the terminology simple, we'll use the term aggro warrior, right? So what this warrior wants to do is wants to get on the board early, have weapons to use on the opponent's face to finish off the game. It can control the board versus other decks that are more into aggression, right? But versus mages, priests, warlocks, right? The slow cabal classes, you will want to finish the game fairly fast. Because even though your cards are pretty good for value, we all know that mage, priest, and warlock, technically, you can't really outvalue them as a warrior too much. Now, I did mention another archetype. Another archetype is a more control-oriented warrior. In this archetype, the hero power does become useful because you will use your weapons mainly to clear the opponent's minions, and then later on you can use your hero power to gain life and really outvalue the opponent. As we mentioned earlier, the reason why we don't favor this archetype from the get-go is because it's pretty hard to completely outvalue mages, priests, and warlocks. The other classes are pretty doable, but those three are just designed to create more value, right? It's very hard to go very passive versus those classes and still win. Now, the good thing about this draft is that I go in it with a mindset of making this aggro warrior, right? Also referred to as a tempo warrior. And the draft doesn't quite work with me, and you'll see me adapt and just shift towards the more control-oriented warrior because we were offered a bunch of high-quality cards. It's better to do the archetype, which you get really good cards for, than to go for the technically better archetype, but without having the cards for it. So if you stare yourself blind and say, no, I need aggro warrior, and you skip out on all the good value stuff and you don't get that much early game and aggression, you can say, oh, I got unlucky in the draft, or you can say, maybe I should have read the draft better and transition. So that's a good example of what you're going to see here. You're going to see me transition into drafting a more control-oriented warrior. So guys, enjoy the draft. Let me know what you thought about the video. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe. I'll catch you all next time. Played a decent amount of Druid on my own. It's been a while since we warriored. Let's draft a warrior. So with a warrior right now, guys, I'm looking for a tempo style warrior. That means we're going to aim for a deck that ends the game fairly fast, usually with a weapon in hand, trying to kill the opponent. So we're going to be focusing on early curve and then some nice mid-game spike cards like Grimy Gadgeteer. Obviously, I'll still pick high-quality late-game cards like Obsidian, but before my strategy revolved more around always getting them. Here, Alexstrasza's Champion was pretty much the only pick. So this one is already interesting. Ancient of Blossoms is okay. It might actually be Rifleman in Warrior. Being able to ping 1 damage is super useful. And we're not going to want a deck that is too high curve, so I think I prefer to ping. Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what we're looking for. Really good. Aggressive warrior, might as well play constructed. Yeah, it's nowhere near constructed, my friend. Slam, yep. Useful card, especially because we can't ping on our own. Now, it's probably the cleave. It's just that if we're going to be more tempo-oriented, cleave isn't, super amazing. It's still fine. Acolyte of Pain might be a little bit too slow. Inner Rage is okay, but we already have pings. I'll go with the cleave. There's usually moments where this is fine. I really like Slam. I think I'll just pick another one. it really just solves a lot of problems where sometimes you're like, ugh, I just need 1 extra or 2 extra damage on that thing, and then Slam allows you to do that without having to invest card. Ravaging Ghoul, pretty much the same thing, right? Being able to ping. That's really what a lot of my warrior drafts revolve around, making sure that we make up for our weakness, which is the hero power. Cookie Chemist is a completely fine card. 3-drop or a Jouster? Right now we have 1 real 3-drop. Rifleman's not really a 3. I think we gotta emphasize curving out here. Here I might pick Shield Maiden. It's kind of awkward. It's pretty much a worse card than the Jouster in terms of tempo. But this isn't as good as the Light's Champion. Yeah, we'll pick this for just a little bit more beef near the end. Bolt of Fist? That's a good 6. I don't like this. I don't like healing when we're going to go more aggressive, and we have a decent amount of 3s. Amani is great. Good 2-drop. Also works together with Slam, works together with Rifleman and Ghoul. Upgrade, once again, being able to ping damage is cool. Plus, if you get a Reaper, we get to party. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, weapons over pretty much everything at the start. So important to get weapons in Warrior. Crusader here, best quality card. Not much to say about that. Probably a champion. That's a nice top end for a Tempo Warrior. Being able to buff all your guys. Gadgeteer, we mentioned earlier, really nice. That's what we're looking for. Second Fool's Bane. Yeah, I already have a cleave. Absolutely. Fool's Bane doesn't go face. That was my only hesitation. But this is still really good for controlling the board so your minions get to go face. Pick another 2-drop here. Not much competition. Sawaka's really good. Do we need the 2? We kind of need the 2, but I'm going to be a little greedy here. Because we picked up 2 Fool's Banes, we can shift our focus a little bit mid-draft, right? This is the whole thing about being flexible in your drafting, is you go into the draft with a certain picture of a deck you'd like, because that's the deck you're most likely going to get. That's going to work out most of the time. But if then the draft goes like, hey, here's 2 Fool's Banes, here's like a decent-ish late game, here's some life gain with a Shield Maiden, here's some slams and a, you know, some early control. It's like we could shift it and build a little bit more late game-ish. So, I mean, it's not like Sunwalker means that we're 100% going for a more control warrior, but it does mean that we have the option of doing so. So we'll go for that and we'll see what comes our way. We do not have a dragon yet, do we? We have Alexstras's as champion, but we don't have an actual dragon. I think it's a shield block then, right? Again, right? We have the 2 Fool's Banes, so this once again puts us more in a position where we can go for that more control-y warrior. Once again, not locking ourselves in, but it's becoming a lot more likely. Punished. Anyways, I think I'd still pick the shield block over the Historian. Yeah, it's Drake here. We don't really have many things to go with the egg. And we have the Alexstras's champion. Oh, that Spite is fantastic, no matter what style you play. Cruel Taskmaster or Mistress of Mixtures? Oh. That's actually a little bit tricky. Because we're going for a little bit more control-y, it looks like the healing is not that irrelevant. One, two, three. Yeah, I think I like the 1-drop more. Stormpike to ping. Yeah, like I said, we really value these out-of-hand damage cards as a warrior. Arathi, even though Monkey is amazing, Arathi, once again, out-of-hand damage, you get a weapon, you get to ping. It's probably Grime Street. I'm just evaluating the potential value of Gadgets and Jouster. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could use another 3. Oh, baby. It's probably a War Axe, even though that Spite's really good. We already have 2 weapons around the 4 slots, and we really could do with an early weapon. Yeah. Oh, man. It's been a very long time since I've skipped the Death Spite. Am I sure I want to do this? I probably am. Yeah. just increases the consistency of the deck a little bit more. Ghoul is fantastic. Yeah, just keeps being good. Oh man, and another Sunwalker. Okay, so we went into this deck with the idea of like, okay, we're gonna be a bit more tempo oriented. We're gonna be able to close out games fast. Whereas the draft shifted 180, our expectations, or rather the thing we were aiming for, shifted pretty much 180. We went completely in a different direction. But it's okay, see, and that's the skill you need as a drafter to recognize that when the draft says, you know, you could build a really nice control deck. It's like, okay, we'll do that. You just got to keep in mind that this kind of deck isn't very likely to come together. You're not going to get 2 Fool's Banes, Armor Gain, a bunch of Taunts, Sunwalkers. You're not going to get that very often. All right, let's try it again.